Journalism is a process and I'm part of a team. So I want to thank the correspondents and editors and designers I've worked with over many years. Dedicated professionals who care about what's happening in the world and care about getting the story right. People who realize that every issue we deal with affects the lives of a lot of people. Issues that are much bigger than we are, much bigger than the advertisers who support our publications, much bigger than the publications themselves. Journalism is more than a business. It's a service industry, and we are the servants. The service we provide is awareness. The purpose, to become an essential part of the process of change. I'm part of a team, and I'm also part of a community. On any given story, my work is only one small part of a much greater body of work created by fellow journalists from all fields. I want to thank them for their moral support and for their inspiration. I especially want to thank my colleagues who are from the locations that I only visit, who stay on long after I've left, who are much more vulnerable and more affected by consequences, who have a much greater stake in a particular outcome. Thank you for your generosity. Thank you for your insight. Thank you for your commitment and your courage. Thank you for keeping the rest of us honest. I'd like to express my gratitude to the NGOs who work so courageously and with such compassion on behalf of humanity. I've often felt that we're partners, and though we go about it in different ways, our goals are most often the same. Thank you for taking a stranger under your wing, for offering food and shelter and transportation. Without your assistance, accomplishing my work would often have been impossible. I want to thank the drivers and the fixers I've worked with, without whom I could have done very little. Most of all, I'd like to recognize the people whose stories I've tried to tell. When someone who is suffering the real consequences of war, famine, natural disaster, or disease allows themselves to be quoted or filmed or photographed, they are reaching out to the rest of the world. They are making an appeal to people's best instincts. Their stories and their faces hold policymakers accountable, and we are the messengers. I have a lot of people to thank for this award. I might be the one taking it home, but it belongs just as much to all of those who made it possible. Thank you.